What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max, and today we are filling in a big ass blind spot on our channel because this is one of the favorite cars of both Martijn and myself. It is the Aston Martin V8 Vantage. We've been talking about this car, about buying this car for, well, about 10 years, I think, and we finally got to drive one thanks to JC Baarse, where this car is for sale. So if you're interested, go check it out. It is a beautiful V8 Vantage from 2006. All the info will be in the description. Go check it out. So today I'm going to show you around it. We'll take a look at the spec we've got it in today, and then we'll take it for a little drive on this beautiful road. No autobahn, unfortunately, today for insurance reasons, but still a lot to enjoy. Alrighty, so the Aston Martin V8 Vantage. This car kind of saved Aston Martin. It was sold quite a bit. I think it was somewhere in 2008. They sold the 10,000th V8 Vantage, which was a big deal back then because those are a lot of Astons. They don't usually build that many. So this car kind of meant a revival of the brand because they got an influx in money and they could really use that. And it is the baby Aston, so it's supposed to compete with like a Porsche 911. That's its main rival. But I do think that this is so much cooler. It is, I mean, it is still one of the most beautiful coupes ever built, I think. If you look at this car from, there's not a bad angle. From the side profile is so gorgeous. Oh man, the front is amazing, the rear is amazing. It's perfect, basically. This is a perfect design. Designed by Ian Cullum, and then Hendrik Fisker took over when they were at like 80% of the design. This car ran from 2005 all the way to 2018 in the latest V12 Vantage AMR, I think. That's the last one they made with the 7-speed dogleg gearbox manual. So there have been 24 different versions of the Vantage over that period of time. And today we've got the base version. So we've got the first one, the 4.3 liter V8 with 385 horsepower. And then in 2008 came the first update when it went to 4.7 liters V8. But we do have the most beautiful wheels you could get on this car. Absolutely gorgeous in that dark grey finish with that dark grey car. I just love the look of that. And behind that we've got Brembo brakes, really good brakes actually. Braking performance is quite awesome. And then we've got these Bridgestone Potenza tires, 19-inch wheels. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful vent here on the side, little English flag right there. And then when we move down the side, beautiful roofline sloping to that rear, and then the gorgeous rear lights with that exhaust integrated into the bumper. And then of course this is like a hatchback, so it's a bit more practical. You've got a decent amount of boot space, I would say, and then you've got some more up here and some more behind the seats, as you can see. So it's quite a nice GT car because you can take quite some stuff with you on your journey, wherever it may take you. And then if we take a look at the doors with that beautiful hinge upwards with a little hydraulic assistance, so the door is a bit lighter. Super nice. And then we'll take a look at the engine. So that's the 4.3 liter V8 with 385 horsepower and 400 Newton meters, somewhere around that number. So it's not mega powerful. It weighs 1600 kilos, so it's not super heavy either, but it is a very nice amount of power because you can actually use it. Now, as I said, in 2008 came an update, 4.7 liters V8, but there have been many updates, many different versions, motorsport derived versions as well. So we had the N400, which was a special edition of this 4.3 liter V8 with 400 horsepower. But you could also get like a Pro Drive kit, which upped the power a little bit. You could get a power kit from Aston Martin as well, that upped the power to 400 something horsepower, 420 I think. So during its time, there have been many different versions of this engine, but it is basically loosely based on the AJ V8 by Jaguar. It does have a different cylinder block, heads, camshaft, connecting rods, inlet manifold, exhaust manifold. It's all different. It's basically a different engine and is only in an Aston Martin, but the architecture loosely is based on the Jaguar V8. And of course it also came with a V12 in the front, which is ridiculous. So on the inside we have a very nice spec, and I have to say I am quite surprised by this interior, because I think it looks absolutely stunning. There are a few things that do feel a bit cheapish, I would say, and a bit dated. Of course, you've got the screen on top here with the old Volvo navigation stuff, which is absolutely horrible. I don't know if there's actually a button to open that thing. No, we'll just leave it closed, because it doesn't really do the car justice to open that, because it is horrible. Other than that, the leather, we've got this brown leather on top, and then this cognac leather down there, and this super light Alcantara headlining. It is a very special spec. It's got all the peanut butter colors basically. And then here, some nice bracing. It's such a special car. It is 15 years old, this car. But I think all the important stuff is still great. Beautiful dials as well, with of course the inverted rev counter that runs counterclockwise, and a nice Aston Martin steering wheel. There are some Volvo and Ford parts here and there, of course, because Aston Martin was owned by Ford back then, but it's not bad actually. I was expecting it to be worse. So I'll open the door for the startup. So quite a civilized start, and I do think that this car has had a very popular upgrade for this car, which is the fuse for the exhaust valve has been removed, or at least it has been altered, because normally the exhaust valve will open at like 3,000 or 4,000 RPM. But with this one, it's always open, and it sounds absolutely delicious. Oh, listen to that. That is outrageous. It sounds so incredible. It is honestly one of the best sounding cars I think I've ever driven. Of like stock cars, this is a stock exhaust. It sounds so freaking good. Now of course we've got a manual gearbox, 6-speed, and you could also get this with an automatic, a roboticized manual or whatever it's called, a 6-speed sport shift gearbox, but that one is horrible apparently, so stay away from that one. Please go for a manual, because it is super nice. Okay, let's go for a little drive. We have a light bulb failure, so that's why we have that little warning light there, but nothing to worry about. All right, so driving this car, clutch, gearbox is quite heavy, but it kind of fits this car really well, because the car, it feels like a little European muscle car. I mean, you've got that beautiful V8 sound, of course, in the background. Not as loud as it is on the outside. It's been filtered quite well, and you have a lot of engine sound in here, which is really nice too. But if we open the windows just a little bit, let's see what happens. You do get a nice growl from the exhaust when you open the window. Handling wise, I have to say, as I said, brakes are really good, but handling is very good as well. So turn in, super sharp. The car feels really light. You've got a 49-51 weight distribution in this car, so that's near perfect. Oh man, it is a very nice car. It has held up beautifully over time, and it makes me really want one. These 4.3 liters are pretty affordable nowadays. Of course, I mean, always go for one that has been maintained properly, but the 4.7s are quite a bit more expensive than the 4.3s because they have a little bit more power. And because they have had a couple of other updates. That goes for everything about this car basically. The later you get, the more expensive they get, because the better they got. So there have been a lot of like suspension, braking, engine management upgrades, updates for this car during its life. Of course also because it's been around for a long time, but also because Aston Martin changed quite a bit in quite small increments. So they sold just over 15,000 of these Vantages. And I mean, as I said, there are so many different variants. There's always something to choose. Oh, that's nice. That is... Oh man, it's not really that quick, and it's got very long gearing, so very long gears that make it feel even less quick basically, acceleration wise. But oh man, it sounds so great. And I have to say the biggest surprise for me driving this car is the handling. It just feels so light on its feet. It feels agile. It feels eager to attack a nice road. Of course, it is basically a GT, but it is a little GT, you know? It's a GT that enjoys a mountain road. Oh. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. So 0 to 100 should be done in 5 seconds. When it was new, we've been able to do 5.8 in very cold, slightly damp conditions. So maybe 5.5 seconds or a little bit quicker than that would be possible, but 5 seconds would be very difficult. But that's not really what this car is about. Top speed is like 282 kilometers an hour. But it's really about just enjoying the drive, enjoying the sound, enjoying the coolness of an Aston Martin, because everyone loves an Aston, right? It's just, no one is going to hate you when you turn up in this car. It's just such a likable machine. Oh man. And it can be yours. As I said, it is for sale, so it's not that expensive anymore. Of course, after this came the new Vantage, which has the 4-liter AMG engine, V8, which is also super nice, but it does feel a lot different compared to this car. This car feels old school, and it sounds like a NASCAR V8. It sounds so special. And it is very it's a very emotional car to drive, because it's the opposite of rational, if you know what I mean. It's not about numbers, it's not about performance per se. It's about having a good time and about this freaking sound. Oh, that's great. Okay, I'm going to end it here because I ran out of gas. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As I said, go check out JC Baarse, where this car is for sale. You can also check out this video on the right, or go check out this playlist. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not a subscriber yet, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye guys.